This video is going to focus on the cheeks. It's for real FACS nerds. However, it will appeal to 3 different audiences at least. 1, FACS students who are trying to improve their coding. 2, people who are using FACS-based systems in the creation of digital human faces. And people who study nonverbal behavior in interaction and other applied settings who have used FACS to develop a more nuanced sensitivity to facial action. I will look at 4 different action units, 1 upper face AU and 3 lower face AUs. The upper face AU, of course, is going to be action unit 6. Action unit 6 is the only action unit of the upper face that has an effect on the cheek region. That's because it's engaging this outer ring of orbicularis oculi, lifting it up, contracting it this way, and creating a compression here. So when we get action unit 6, we see this. Notice how the brow comes down, there's movement this way, this area of the cheek lifts up, the lid compresses, and as these 2 areas meet, we get crow's feet. But notice what happens to the cheeks with AU6. There is a lifting of this cheek area high up on the cheekbone, way high up here. It doesn't really affect this part of the cheek. If we use the anatomical term that we learn in FACS of the infraorbital triangle to refer to the cheek region, 6 is working on this upper portion of the infraorbital triangle. We can discriminate between how 6 affects that area and how AU12 affects that area. Action unit 12 is the action unit that reflects contraction of zygomatic major, which is a large strand of fibers originating on the zygomatic arch and attaching near the lip corners. When it contracts, we get this. That's the action that we tend to think of as a smile. It's the lower face action associated with smiles of amusement and enjoyment in many years of research and in just common experience. 12 is noticeable for what happens to the lips. The lips stretch up and the lip corners move up obliquely in the shape that we recognize as a smile. But the most profound effect of 12 on the face, I think, is in the cheeks, because we see this big oblique lifting, and it's really even more obvious on an aging face how it pulls everything up, lifting up and making full the cheeks, lifting them up at a 45-degree angle, deepening the infraorbital furrow, but acting on an area more of the middle portion, the middle meaty portion of the cheek or the infraorbital triangle, compared to 6, which acts up here. 6, 12, 6, 12. Okay, now AU13. AU13 is the action of a short set of fibers right here, known as caninus or levator anguli oris, and it lifts the lip corners up at a really sharp angle, much sharper an angle than AU12. This is 13. Notice, with 12, the whole mouth is stretched. With 13, the lip corners go up steeply, but the rest of the mouth is not stretched out as much. This is 13. What happens to the cheeks? Notice with 13, because the contraction is this way, the cheeks get all bunched up right here. You get this little apple in the cheeks with 13. With 12, the contraction of a zygomatic major lifts up this whole area and you get a big full area. 12, 13, 12, 13. And last, I'd like to look at AU14. AU14 reflects the action of the contraction of the buccinator muscle, which is a big, thick set of fibers deep inside the cheek, originating along the hinge of the jaw and attaching near the lip corners deep inside the cheek area. When it contracts, all this folds up, or like this. As this cheek compresses, the fullness is right here, this kind of lower middle portion of the infraorbital triangle. You get dimples. The lip corners do move up, but just a little bit as buccinator contracts. The cheek is not lifted, and this is important because some people get confused because both 12 and 14 can lift the lip corners, 12 much more, but here's 14, here's 12. Notice how differently they affect the cheeks. 14 here, 12 here. So again, 6, 12, 13, 14.